Hey, what's up guys, Totallydubbed here, and today I'm doing initial thoughts and impressions of Star Wars Battlefront. So this game is made by DICE and EA, the makers of Battlefield, well, a long generation of Battlefield games. Not some of them, for example, like Hardline, but like Battlefield 4 and 3 and things like that. So anyway, this is just a beta, so do bear that in mind. So this is impressions on a beta, but I've played quite a few betas before, and including the Battlefield ones, and I just thought my impressions probably would count just because I have the same sort of I had the same sort of thoughts when it came to Battlefield 4 and 3. So first of all, the gameplay mechanics. How does the game actually play out with all the power-ups you can see right here? How does that work? Well, the power-ups work in a nice way that it's almost like a pick-up-and-play type of arcade shooter. You pick them up, you play, you shoot, and then you continue. It's all fun and games when you're just picking up these power-ups, and it can be kind of hard when you're defending against someone with a power-up. So, for example, someone who has an AT&T, or someone who has Luke Skywalker, or I don't know, Darth Vader, or someone like that. It becomes really hard to defend. However, it does provide more of a challenge. And the biggest thing for me in this game is that it feels like a bit of a pay-to-win, or the higher your level, the better you're going to get. The same type of philosophy that was, I think, in Battlefield 3 or Hardline, that the higher your rank or the more experience you have in the game, the better weapons you have. And it seems to be the case over here. The matchmaking system seems to be working flawlessly at the moment, but at that same time there was not enough squad play. I could spawn on a partner, apparently, on the game, but I couldn't select who my partner was or how the partner should be selected. On top of that, I had no idea how this partner system worked. There's no explanation of it. Even with tips enabled, there was nothing explained. It could be in terms of my part, but people are going to be picking up this game and just, playing it on, say, console or PC, and obviously I'm playing it on PC at the moment, and you'd expect a bit more explanation, at least at the start, but there was none of that. In terms of the gameplay mechanics, I still feel the netcode is, well, it's a 30 tick rate. It feels like, I don't know, 15 or 30 tick rate. But in terms of the overall hit registration, I still think it's still lacking. It's a bit like Battlefield 4. It's hit and miss sometimes, and you do have some problems here and there. So overall, it's okay, but it's not amazing. It's definitely not as bad as it was in Battlefield 3, nor was it as in the release of Battlefield 4. It's more like the towards the end of Battlefield 4, how the game felt. So overall, the gameplay mechanics feel okay, but still nothing to be excited about, nothing revolutionary, doesn't feel that anything has changed really. Now the biggest thing for me was the fact of running and gunning. Now in Battlefield 4, you couldn't really run and gun, so to speak. You had suppression and everything like that, but you also had the fact that if you aimed in, or people who could aim in would have a higher advantage. In this game, it has been confirmed that if you run and gun or you don't aim, it's the same thing. You'll see myself playing in third person simply because playing it at third person is the same thing. If you just play it third person or first person, it doesn't really matter. Your recoil or anything like that doesn't exist. There's hardly any bullet drop, if any, and on top of that, you can just run and shoot, and you'll be as accurate as a guy just standing and scoping in. Of course, a scoping in guy will have more range on you, but if you're running and gunning and you're chasing that guy down, you're going to have a better chance of killing him than the guy just standing there who's probably going to be scoped out by a sniper or something. So, in terms of that, I feel the skill level is really, really low. Now, for someone who plays Counter-Strike and, you don't really aim on that map, by that I mean you don't scope in, but you have to know how a gun recoils. In this game, there's nothing like that. This game is pretty much designed for a 4 or 5-year-old to pick up and play and enjoy getting some kills. I don't feel that it's quite hard to play, and I feel that it can appeal to a mass audience. Is it really like a Battlefront game? Well, I felt like Battlefront had this sort of feel to it originally. So, in terms of sticking to the original titles, Battlefront is definitely, this Battlefront, releasing in 2015, 2016, or whatever it might release, is quite similar to the old Battlefront games. You just pick up and play and just shoot, and you don't have to worry about recoil or anything. So it's very similar to the original games. So in that respect, for people who are accustomed to the original games, they'll quite like it because there's nothing old. So the old system is being applied over here as well. Whereas people who are, I don't know, who have played other games and might be starting this game by fresh or wanting something new, you won't get it. The whole running and gunning system is pretty much here. Now, what are my overall thoughts on the game? Like, how do I feel playing the game when I just played it during the beta? Is it a game I'm going to pre-order? Is it a game I'm going to buy? Am I going to wait to buy it? Or whatever it is. Personally, I don't think this game is worth any sort of penny. It feels almost like it just feels like an old game that has just been refreshed with newer graphics and has absolutely no skill level. Just run and gun, as you just saw right there. Just run and gun and shoot. You get there. There's no sort of skill level or anything like that. I presume teamwork would apply, but unfortunately the teamwork element is not really made into the game. That's for you to decide if you can play or not. As in, you can't have like a 5-man squad or whatever and running all together and spawning on each other and making sure you have a tactical position or anything. It's made for someone is going to randomly pick up the game with no friends and play the game, and at the end of the game not really have any friends anymore, and new friends, let's put it that way. In that respect, it's the same when it comes to other games. In Battlefield 4 it was also the same. You'd have a certain squad that you'd play with, your friends that you actually know, but you wouldn't really add someone really random after a game. Whereas in games like Counter-Strike, if you play with a person that you think is good or you felt that you communicated well, even if you lost the game, you would still add them and say, hey, let's play another game together. You know, we had a good game, why not try another one? You know, that sort of model is so much better, and it's so much more better for meeting people. The amount of people I've met via playing Counter-Strike is unbelievable. It's from people across the world, from people who, you know, I would never have thought to be matched up and paired with, and meeting their friends as well. And unfortunately, this game in Battlefront doesn't encourage that. So overall, I think this game is somewhat disappointing to me. It's just a run and gun shooter, doesn't promote any skill. In fact, Call of Duty probably has a bit more skill than this game. This game is mainly located about power-ups. You get the power-ups, you get the right sort of guns as you level up, then you're probably going to be invincible, and as long as you know the movement, how to move around the maps, then you're going to be alright. Map knowledge is not key, but obviously if you know it, then it's the better. So obviously most of us didn't know it, but anyway. As you can see, you've still the spawn protection system right there, which is good and bad at the same time, because I can see that being really annoying in immense firefights. As you can see over here, now I'm going to be in a massive walker, and I'm just going to obliterate people with this massive gun, whilst they can't really do anything about it. So it is okay, but it's a little bit OP, if you ask me. It's a shame that, you know, it's not really well balanced, and doesn't really promote any sort of skill. Just shoot and you'll have fun. So if you're looking for a game that's just promoting running and gunning and just shooting just for fun, with no real skill, and even if you want to play on your own, then fine, you can go get it, but I wouldn't really pay its retail price, and I'll definitely wait for its bugs to be ironed out, because there's quite a lot of bugs. I even noticed some bugs myself while I was playing the game for a very short time. I seem to always find bugs in games, but anyway, short, you know, animation bugs and problems like that appeared, and it's unfortunate. But anyway, that is the case with any beta, so I do expect it to have bugs, but Battlefield 4 had bugs in its beta, and it still had it after several years after being released. Anyway guys, I've been Totallydubbed. Hopefully you've enjoyed this opinion, and it's just me being honest. I'm definitely not going to get the game, and if I do, then I'll just wait until it's out for 2-3 months so that I can actually see how the game's developed and everything. Alright guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Take care, and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, favourite and share, as it always helps. Take care guys, Totallydubbed out. Bye bye.